Lexin G16 promises 16-rider group intercom, 2-kilometer range, HD speakers, Bluetooth 5.0, waterproof durability, and all-day battery. Either we've reached budget mesh-level magic or we're looking at another spec sheet fantasy that falls apart at 70 mph. On paper, you get universal pairing, music sharing, wind noise reduction, Type-C fast charging, and the kind of endurance that should easily cover a full-day ride. Sounds criminally generous for the money, right? But here's the thing, the tech under the hood matters more than the numbers on the box. Here's what caught my attention. I strapped the G16 to 2 helmets and put it through 3 weeks of daily commuting plus 2 group rides in mixed terrain. I've put the direct link to check current pricing in the description, but before you click anything, let me show you what I discovered after 3 weeks of testing. Let's set expectations. The G16 claims to be your budget-friendly group comm solution that keeps everyone connected and your music clear at highway speeds. The marketing promises up to 16 riders in one group, long range and open terrain. HD sound with noise reduction for clear chats and phone calls. Waterproof design for all-weather riding. 15 hours of battery life and easy universal pair. Sounds impressive, right? Pretty bold claims for this price bracket, but here's where things get interesting. Reality check. They claim 16 riders. What you actually get is classic Bluetooth daisy chaining, not modern mesh. Here's why that matters. With Bluetooth chains, if the rider acting as a bridge drops out, the chain breaks. On my canyon ride with 6 riders, the third rider started crackling around the 300-400 meter mark, and when the lead ducked behind a rock wall, half the group lost intercom. Reality check. Bluetooth can't maintain 16 stable links through hills, traffic, and line-of-sight breaks. If you ride tight and tidy with 3-5 people, it's workable. 6+, it becomes tech roulette. They claim up to 2 kilometers of range. What you actually get is a best-case number in perfect line-of-sight, flat terrain with 0 interference. Here's where it gets mathematically impossible. At 2.4 GHz, body shielding, elevation changes, trees, and buildings eat signal. Your helmet sits low, your body blocks the antenna, and motorcycles live in noisy RF environments. In town, I saw consistent reliability at roughly 200-300 meters. In open backroads, maybe 500-700 before noticeable chop. The spec is not a lie in a lab, but it's not your daily reality either. They claim HD speakers and noise cancellation. What you actually get is decent music under 60 mph, but the intercom compresses aggressively and the wind gate can chomp on syllables at highway speed. At 70-80 mph with a typical full face and foam earplugs, music is audible but the bass thins out and rider-to-rider chat gets tinny. Callers told me I sounded okay around town, borderline above 65 mph, and rough when shoulder checking into crosswinds. The noise reduction helps, but it's not a miracle worker. They claim all-day battery. What you actually get depends on how you ride. On my longest day with constant intercom plus music at medium volume, the unit tapped out just under 9.5 hours. On a commute week with mixed use, I averaged 8-10 hours. That's not terrible, but it's not the carefree 15-hour day if you're chatting and streaming the whole time. Fast charge via USB-C is real and helpful. About 2 hours got me back to full. They claim universal pairing and music sharing. What you actually get is compatibility with other brands in one-to-one intercom, but once you start mixing platforms, features shrink. Pairing a Cardo or Sena required extra steps and the group intercom suffered more lag and more dropouts. Music sharing worked well with a second G16, but only for 2 and it lowered overall volume. Waterproof. The listing leans hard on weather resistance, but here's the plot twist. A drizzle was fine. A steady rain at highway speed caused a sticky volume button on one unit until it dried. I've seen multiple user reports of water ingress after heavy downpours. If you ride year-round in storms, this is a question mark. Lastly, usability. There's no robust smartphone app to build groups. You're doing button combos to set up chains, and if someone powers down, you're repairing. Firmware updates require a computer and patience. Is it usable? Yes. Slick? Not really. Detailed breakdown. Sound quality. Music is enjoyable up to freeway speeds with foam plugs, but not class-leading. Compared to Cardo Freecom 2X4X with JBL, the G16 lacks sparkle and mid-bass authority at higher volume. Intercom prioritizes clarity over richness, which is fine for voice but fatiguing on long rides. Lyrics remained intelligible at 70 mph in a quiet touring lid. In a noisy dual sport lid, you'll crank volume and hear more distortion. If you upgrade to Lexin's higher output speakers, you can claw back some loudness, but tone quality still trails premium sets. Battery life. My controlled loop with mixed music intercom logged 9 hours 32 minutes before shutdown. Light use days hit 12 hours plus. Charging from near empty to full took just over 2 hours on a 2A USB-C brick. Standby drain over 5 days was minimal. The battery meter is coarse, expect sudden drops from half to low under load. Build quality, the clamp mount held steady on a RF 1400 and an ADV lid. The adhesive plate worked on a beaded edge but leaves little repositioning wiggle. Buttons are big enough for winter gloves, but the tactile click is mushy, so you'll sometimes double press. Boom mic for modulars and a wired mic for full face are included. Cable strain reliefs are stiff, route carefully to avoid cheek pad hot spots. Weather sealing is improved over older budget units, but high-pressure rain remains a risk. Intercom and usability, pairing two G16s is quick. Adding more riders is where it turns into expensive confusion. Without a proper app, you're relying on a pairing sequence that's easy to mess up. Music sharing works for two only. There's no true audio mixing control. Intercom ducks music aggressively. Voice Assistant simply triggers your phone's Siri/Google. You can't hands-free manage intercom groups. Universal pairing to other brands works, but expect more latency and fewer features. Here's what nobody tells you. Most 16 rider claims in this price class are Bluetooth chains that crumble when one rider drops behind a truck. Verdict: buy with caution and maybe don't buy at all if you plan big group rides. If your reality is 2 to 4 riders, mostly open roads, and you want decent sound on a budget, the G16 can deliver solid value, especially when it dips around the 150 single or 250 dual range. But if your group is 5+, you ride in hills or dense traffic, or you want set and forget stability, save your money for a mesh-capable system like Cardo Freecom X Series or Pactalk or Sena 50 Series. Skip this unless your expectations match Bluetooth's limits. For the right rider, it's fine. For ambitious groups, it's frustration waiting to happen. Stay savage out there. Thanks for watching. If this review saved you from wasting money or helped you find something actually worth buying, I've put the link to check current pricing and read more reviews in the description. And hey, if you do decide to buy through my link, it helps fund these investigations without costing you extra. Drop your questions or your own G16 experience in the comments and tell me which intercom you want tested next. Next up, I'm putting a budget duo head-to-head with a mid-tier mesh to see where your dollars actually matter. Ride smart, ride safe, and I'll see you in the next one.